Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Real Reviews by Loukprop, and finally today we'll be talking about the final installment of the Battle of District 15 between Tembusu Grand, the Continuum, and today finally we'll be talking about Grand Dunman. So what do I really feel about Grand Dunman? Is the biggest project the biggest winner? Okay, before we continue, as usual, we are going to be assessing based on these factors. And let's go to the first factor, location and accessibility. So first up, location and accessibility. Now we have gone through the location studies in detail from the previous real reviews that we have done for Tembusu Grand and the Continuum. So I won't go into much detail for them. If you're interested in knowing the full details and breakdown, please do watch the other two real reviews that we did for Tembusu Grand and the Continuum. So today I'll just be talking about the minor differences that we are seeing in terms of location for Grand Dunman as compared to the other two condominiums, right? So looking at Grand Dunman right now, it's situated just beside Dakota MRT. Of all three condos, this is probably the one that is closest to an MRT. In fact, the MRT is on the Circle line. So it is literally just 2 minutes walk away from Grand Dunman to Dakota MRT. Now Dakota MRT is 2 stops away from Stadium MRT station, which is at Singapore Sports Hub, your indoor stadium, Kallang Wave Mall, and another 2 more stops to Promenade, which is at Suntec City, and then you have another 2 more stops down to Marina Bay area. So 2 stops away to your amenities like Kallang Wave Mall and 6 stops away to your city centre. It is very, very convenient. In fact, if you were to drive from Grand Dunman to CBD area, it will just really be a few minutes drive away. For primary schools, the only primary school that is 1 kilometer away from Grand Dunman is Konghua School. So I know that the other 2 condos have more primary schools that are surrounding them within a 1 kilometer distance away. But for Grand Dunman, the most famous school here is Konghua School. So although it's only 1 primary school, I think it should suffice over there. Other schools that are surrounding Grand Dunman include Chongqing High School Main. Alright, so this is a famous school as well, but it's a secondary school. You have Tanjong Katong Secondary and Tanjong Katong Girls School, Broderick Secondary School. So you are surrounded by schools, just that in terms of primary school, it's just 1 Konghua school. And if you look at Grand Dunman location, right, it is actually surrounded by Geylang River, it's surrounded by landed clusters around here. So actually in terms of your view that you can get from Grand Dunman, it's actually very easy for you to be able to find a unit that has good views all around Grand Dunman, with some stacks are actually being blocked by this upcoming residential ground in the future. So this was the old vacant army camp here. It has been slated for residential area, but we'll go through that a little bit later when we're doing stack selection. But generally, if I'm looking at Grand Dunman, it is much easier to find a good view unit outside of the project as compared to Tembusu Grand or the Continuum. Now, other than all these, the location is pretty much similar with Tembusu Grand and the Continuum. So again, please view these other 2 reviews that we did earlier on to get a detailed breakdown of the location itself. Now, as a summary, because of the transformations going on around here, including Kallang River Master Plan, your Marine Parade transformation due to relocation of Paya Lebar Air Base, and because District 15, everybody loves to stay there, there's a lot of amenities going on around there, and coupled with the fact that Grand Dunman is right next to Dakota MRT, the score that I will give for Grand Dunman in terms of location and accessibility will be 4/5. Now, Grand Dunman is developed by SingHaiyi Group, and if you look at the quality housing portal, SingHaiyi Group is a Band 1 developer. And as you can see here, Band 1 is being the best, followed by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of course, and not better. So Band 1 is definitely the best. If you look at the developments that they have built so far, what we realize is this. The main con for this project is China Construction, CSC Land Group, and so far, all the developments that they have done, the Lilium, Vale, City Suites with CSC Group has all been Band 1 in terms of the development quality. We still need to look at Gazania, which is the same development and location as the Lilium. And we have to look at Park Clementi's as well. Both are still under assessment because they are still under construction. But from what we have seen from Park Clementi's, it should be Band 1 as well. So in terms of developer quality and also main con quality, definitely it's good quality that we can expect from Grand Dunman. So project details. Grand Dunman is 1,008 units large. So it is the largest new launch that you are seeing in District 15 as compared to Tembusu Grand and also the Continuum. Now, in terms of car park lots, they have 3 basement car parks, one-to-one car park arrangements, as you can see here, 1,009 lots. So in terms of block placement, you can see that there's only one block that is 6 stacks for that block, 18 stories high, and 6 other blocks of 18 stories as well, but these are 8 to 9 stacks for each block. Also similar to Tembusu Grand and the Continuum, they are also aiming to get the BCA super low energy recognition. And if you look at the site plan, the first thing that strikes you is that they're designed in such a way that it surrounds the facilities. They push the blocks to the edge of the land so as to give greater block-to-block distance. Looking at the block-to-block distance here, what you can see is this is just an estimate, by the way, okay? That even the shortest block-to-block distance is 51 meters apart, which is a very healthy block-to-block distance. Now, if you're talking about this 32-meter block-to-block distance, yes, this is shorter, but because this portion of the blocks, right, they are facing outwards, which means that this facing currently right now is unblocked as well. So the block-to-block distance is still very, very healthy. Now, the block-to-block distance will be important when we talk about stack selection later, but you can see that they have designed the facilities in a way that it flows from Geylang Riverside to this facility, down to this main pool, and to this clubhouse here, into this portion right here. So they are trying to maximize the wind ventilation, that's one thing. But what are the facilities that they are actually doing? Firstly, you'll notice that there'll be 2 clubhouses here, one here and one here. Sorry, one here. Okay, this is what they call the jewel clubhouse, and this is what they call the pool clubhouse. They also have tennis court. This is by right of 50 meters, but this looks bigger than 50 meters. We don't have the exact measurements yet, but this is definitely more than 50 meters lap pool. And the entrance arrival is over here. First thing I really like about the arrival is this, that the security guard house is not just outside at the road here, which means that residents will have to drive in this way to get into the entrance arrival here, where the guard house will be right at this portion, so it doesn't create a jam along Dunman Road. That will be nice to have in your project. The second thing is, this clubhouse faces this entire organically shaped pool, and we'll talk about the clubhouse a little bit later. And of course, surrounding the developments, you'll be dotted with barbecue pits, fitness corners, child playground, so on and so forth. Now, first off, let's talk about the pool clubhouse. Now, the pool clubhouse, again, we have 3 stories here. At the first story, you have your management office here, okay? Second story is where the actual facility starts, where you have your pool function rooms 1 and 2, you have your lawn and yoga lawn, but your gym will be on the 3rd floor, which is, if we see the pictures here, this will be what it will look like, the pool clubhouse. Gym at the 3rd floor, 2nd floor will be your function rooms and whatnot. So this is a large gym. You can see they have built it in such a way that it overlooks the pool, so quite nice, right? But although it's very common that gyms are overlooking pools nowadays, but this is quite a big gym that overlooks a very nice organically shaped pool. For the jewel clubhouse, on the 1st floor, they have shops here, okay? Strata shops here, you'll be part of your plaza, all right? And on the 2nd floor, you will have your function rooms as well, 1 and 2. You will have a viewing deck, viewing library. And on the 3rd floor, you will have your games room, you will have your music room and karaoke room. So how it will look like this. One thing I really like about this, you can see the viewing decks give you a good view over to the Geylang Riverside. So this is a park connector as well with the river here. It will look pretty nice from Jewel Clubhouse. So on overall, this will be a full facility condo. It has multiple side gates as well. If I'm not wrong, there are 4 side gates around the development. So it's easily accessible from around the Dakota area. And in terms of provisions, For the hot zones, you will see DD Trick for their standard and luxury units. For the Grand Collection in the project, you will have Miele instead for your hot zones. For the fridges, washer dryers, for all types, you have Samsung brand. And for the sanitary fittings, you have Frank. So all these are all very good quality provisions that they are providing as well. So in conclusion, SingHaiyi and CSC Land are experienced developers, and the past few projects that they have done up are all in Band 1, so you can expect good quality from Grand Dunman as well. Also, the facilities are well designed. It is a full facility condo with good provisions provided as well. So in terms of development quality and facilities, the score will be 4.5/5. Next up, we have competitive pricing. Now, we have gone through quite in-depth in terms of pricing study in Tembusu Grand and the Continuum, but for this one, we'll repeat some of the stuff because it will help to understand Grand Dunman's pricing, whether it's competitive at all. First thing we realize is this, that the break-even price for Grand Dunman is roughly 2,200 per square feet. So if you're expecting at least a 10 to 15% profit margin for Grand Dunman, we are expecting a 2,005 to 2,009 per square feet launch price. So how does that fare against the other developments in the area? Before we go into the two launches that we were talking about, let's take a look at the ones that are the newest built ones here. This would be Neon, Amber 45 and Mayor House. Now if you can see here, Neon has been transacting at 2,004 to as high as 2,007 per square feet. For Mayor House, we are transacting at about 2,005 to as high as 2,008 per square feet is transacted as well. For Amber 45, we are also looking at about a 2,005 to 2,007 per square feet in the most recent transactions also. Now, of course, these are freehold projects, and if we expect a 10 to 15% premium for freehold projects, this would mean that a similarly aged 99-year leasehold project built around 2020 to 2022 would cost around 2,200 to 2,500 per square feet. Now, keeping in mind that Grand Dunman will be built around the same time as Tembusu Grand and the Continuum, which is around 2027. This means that at the launch price of our estimation at 2005 to 2009, we are looking at a 300 to 400 per square foot premium for a project that is 5 to 7 years younger, which honestly is slightly on the high side, because if you remember, Tembusu Grand was only about 200 to 300 per square feet higher. So it is on a slight high side. Now, of course, these are small projects. If you compare bigger projects, for example, Live at MB is transacting at 2004 to 2008. So Grand Dunman actually has a 4 to 6% premium in price as compared to Live at MB. Now, as mentioned in the previous reviews as well, in terms of District 15, the ones that have performed better in terms of capital appreciation are usually the ones that are bigger sized projects. For example, projects like Seaview, the Esta, Amber Park, right? These projects have generally done very well in terms of capital gain potential. So Tembusu Grand is a big project. Continuum is even bigger, but Grand Dunman is right now, out of the three projects, the biggest projects at 1,008 unit size. So now let's get down to comparing with the other two projects. Tembusu Grand was launched at between 2003 to 2007 per square feet. It has 638 units. The Continuum launched at 2006 to 3,000 per square feet with 816 units. The difference is Continuum is a freehold project. So this premium of 300 per square feet actually makes sense because it's between the 10 to 15% premium above Tembusu Grand. However, Dunman Grand right now is a 99-year leasehold, so we compare it with Tembusu Grand. If we're expecting 2005 to 2009, it is actually at about 200 per square feet above Tembusu Grand. Even looking at the Continuum, it's only about 100 per square foot cheaper than the freehold property of the Continuum's caliber. If we are looking at 100 per square feet, it's only like 4 to 6% cheaper. And as mentioned just now, usually freehold is about 10 to 15% kind of a premium above 99-year leasehold. So although it seems like Dunman Grand is slightly high, all right, but some people will say it's closer to MRT, that's why it deserves that kind of premium. But to be honest, in my opinion, Dunman Grand is slightly high in terms of its pricing. It's not as attractive of a pricing as Tembusu Grand, and also as a 99-year leasehold project, it's not as attractive as a project as the Continuum in terms of its freehold status, and it's only at 100 per square foot more expensive. So if our estimation for Grand Dunman prices do remain accurate, for scoring, for pricing, we'll score it at 2.
Hello everybody, just a little bit of an update. Since the filming of the pricing analysis in the studio, the developers have come back with new pricing updates. Now, they have given us their starting from prices, and they are saying that they're going to be launching at similar prices to Tembusu Grand. So if that were true and they will be launching at 2,400 to 2,700 per square feet, it doesn't really change our pricing analysis for the projects, but it does improve the score for Grand Dunman. So if Grand Dunman were to launch at 2004 to 2007, my updated score, originally I was going to give it a 2.5 over 5. Now the updated score will be 3 over 5.
Next up, we have rental yield. Now, we'll again be using Neon and Amber 45 as examples. If you can see Neon here, the recent two-bedders have actually gone even at 6,000 to 6,006 per month in terms of its rental. But because Neon is a very new property which is very near to Marine Parade area, nearer to Parkway Parade as well, so it's essentially in a better location in terms of District 15 locality than Grand Dunman. If you are looking at Amber 45, their two-bedders have been pretty cheap. It's 4,000 to 5,500 in terms of its monthly rental. So if we were to compare with Grand Dunman, with the kind of pricing that we are looking at, a two-bedder will likely be about 1.7 to 1.9 million. Using these rentals as examples from Neon and Amber 45 and adjusting for proximity and locational attributes from Neon and Amber 45 versus Grand Dunman, we'll be likely looking at a 2.8 to 3.7% rental yield for Grand Dunman, which isn't too bad, it's okay. So for scoring wise, we'll give it 3 over 5. Last but not least, we have stack selection. So as usual, we'll be basing off of these factors for stack selection. Okay. Now before we go into the actual stack selection, how I have analyzed this is based on a few things. Number one, if we were to look at the master plan here, this used to be a army camp, alright, Guillemard camp, but it has since moved away and made way for residential. So this is zoned as residential right now, and as you can see, the plot ratio here is the same as Grand Dunman. So they can actually build as high as Grand Dunman, which means that this facing here is most likely going to be blocked in the future if there's a residential project coming up soon. Okay, this area is currently used for special use. They don't have anything intended there yet, so we don't know what's going on there. But as you can see from this side, facing here you have Geylang River, so it's a pretty nice water view. And of course here is your landed cluster, so it will be an unblocked view facing downwards towards the south, as you can see here. Okay, so in terms of stack selection, these are, in my opinion, the ideal stacks, the average stacks, and the not so ideal stacks. Part of it is also because of West Sun. It's also because of block-to-block distance, as I mentioned to you earlier on, with the inside-facing units. So for score, we'll give it 4.5 over 5. So gathering all the various scores from the various factors, our average score would be 3.7 over 5, which is pretty good for Grand Dunman. So who will be the winner in this three-way battle of District 15? We'll only know when Grand Dunman actually launches and we know the pricing and whatsoever. But if you are curious on what kind of units you should be selecting in all three projects, drop us a DM. We can arrange a session with you to go through the unit selection analysis. So what other projects do you want us to review? Leave it down in the comment section below. And as always, please go and like the video, share the video, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel because it will help us a lot. We'll see you in the next real review. Bye!